Have you been intuitively led, or maybe you've stumbled upon being on a healing journey or a spiritual journey that has caused you to question your current career path and asking yourself, is this really my purpose? You've started to recognize that you have other skills and gifts that you'd like to monetize online, but you're feeling some resistance, either on taking initial steps to get started, or maybe you've already started taking steps and you're still feeling that resistance. And you're thinking to yourself, if I'm taking steps towards my purpose in building my business, why does it feel so challenging still? Shouldn't it feel easier if I'm building a business that's truly aligned with my purpose? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you what you can emotionally expect as you build a non clinical online business. And maybe if you're watching this, you're starting to think to yourself that the journey that you're on should feel more aligned and connected than it does. But I'm going to reveal to you why you might be feeling some of that resistance. And maybe you've already started a private practice and you're thinking to yourself, gosh, I started a private practice and this still isn't it. Or maybe you started an online business, but you're monetizing your clinical skills. So not much has changed. You've just brought what you were doing in the clinic to online, and you're still feeling like something is missing. One of my clients actually graduated last year, passed her boards at the end of 2023, started a private practice, has been in it for 2 months, and said to herself, this ain't it. And that's really what I started to notice in my own personal life 1 year after graduating and working as a physical therapist. I thought, this just can't be my life. There was something about it that had an emptiness. It wasn't fulfilling like I thought it was going to be. It wasn't purposeful like I thought it was going to be, like I always desired to feel. And we got into this profession to help people. And so when we're not being fulfilled, that generally causes us to be on the journey of getting connected to the things we truly desire. And when we stumble upon a deeper connection with ourselves, we ask the hard questions. Am I doing what I'm made to be doing? Am I truly fulfilling my life purpose? And so I'm somebody that has gone from burnout to business and burnout to purpose. And along the way, I had to really learn that this wasn't just about building a strategic business. This was about becoming a person, understanding who I was developing myself to be. And yes, if you're building an online business, you've got to understand online business. You've got to build an audience. You got to be able to package your skill sets, clinical and non-clinical, and put that into an offer that solves a problem, provides a solution, a result, a transformation for the people that you're meant to serve. And you've got a marketing system. You've got to have a way to get your message out there, your solution out there. And then you have to have a sales system, a way for people to buy from you. But that information is very easily accessible. You can Google it, you can watch some YouTube videos on it. But the part that people aren't talking about is what happens emotionally as the human being behind the business, as the human being having this experience of almost like a breakup. Feels like we're breaking up with the identity of being a practitioner. And yes, parts of that will just never leave us. But if you're stepping into building a non-clinical business online, there's some things that are going to shift. And you might not recognize things that need to shift because right now all you can see is how to strategically set up shop online. So I want to give you some insights here on the 3 things you can actually expect to go through on an emotional level as you're building your business. And this is true for my clients. This has been true for me. And I know this is going to be true for you too. And so whether you've already taken steps or you've taken those steps and you're like, why is this feeling so difficult? I'm going to share with you why. Because underneath all of the strategy that we need to learn in business, we got to start learning ourselves. So the first thing is we have to release the shame. The second thing is we have to accept that there is a deeper purpose for us on this planet. And the third thing is that we have to develop ourselves further for that purpose. So I'm going to dive into these a bit. First things first, releasing the shame around the time, the effort, the money investment that you've put into this degree. And because of that, a lot of our identity is wrapped up in this degree and our knowledge base and our accolades and the ability to help our patients achieve the results that they have. And so that identity is tied into a clinical aspect of us, our clinical role. And when you decide that you want to build an online business that has nothing to do or really isn't close to the clinical side of you, there's some shame involved. You start to feel bad because we're told that being a healthcare provider is very satisfactory. It gives us a lot of satisfaction. That's what people tell us. And yes, we get satisfaction when our patients do well and they see results, but there's still a part of it that feels incomplete. So what happens is you start to feel bad that you're not feeling completely satisfied within your career. And you're thinking, I should be more grateful to help the people that I'm helping. I should feel more satisfied with where I'm at. But we're actually made to expand and grow. And when we're not, or I should say, when we are expanding and growing, but we're not changing the environment and we're in this static clinic-based environment, it starts to add pressure. And that's how we start to say, like, I don't think I'm building, or I don't think I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. This clinical career starts to feel small and you're feeling bigger than what you're doing inside the clinic. And that's one of the desires that God has put on your heart. And so because that desire is there, it's yearning you for more. And that's why people often say, I know I'm made for more. They just don't know what that more is oftentimes. And so we've got to release that shame of what we believe we're expected to feel, expected to do, or expected to go through as we're building a business. And people, like they've said to me, why don't you just monetize your career online? Just monetize your clinical skills online. Well, I hate to break it to you, but I did that. And like many of you, you've probably done that too and have just left yourselves still feeling empty, not feeling purposeful, not feeling fulfilled because there's something else. There's another part of you that has grown and expanded that you want to step into, and business has now become the vehicle for you to be able to step into that. So as you've been on your own journey, as you've lived through certain life experiences, you now want to turn around and help others have a transformation in their life. And so what you're experiencing now is just saying that and owning that, and it looking different than the identity that you've built within your clinical role. So the shame that's involved is you no longer matching what society has said you should do, or what your parents or your culture has made it seem like you're supposed to be doing. When we feel like we're in opposition of the masses, it can make us feel shameful for our choices, for our decisions. And it doesn't have to be that way. That's part of the emotional breakup with that old identity, and just really stepping into the fact that you've grown and your desires have changed. And so when you put a message out there and you know that what you're here to do is so much bigger and deeper than what you've been doing, we've had a knowledge base tied to our clinical degree. But once you start putting your own message out there and it looks different than maybe something you've been saying before, and by different, I just mean not bad different, I just mean it's a different message. Maybe you're not promoting health and wellness the same way you used to. Maybe there's other things you want to promote, other things you want to talk about. And so it's just different than your clinical identity online. You want to create a different identity online. You want to carry a different message. And so we have to start understanding that we can be ashamed of the ideas that we have. Even though we believe them, we know that they're true and they're good, we can actually feel ashamed of the idea because now we're wondering, does anybody care about what I have to say? So when I say releasing the shame, doesn't happen overnight. It's actually going to be released as you continue to take action in your business. But I want you to know that that is literally one of the first emotional steps that we have to take. The second thing I said is accept that there is a deeper purpose for your life. I truly believe that God has put us on this planet to have an assignment, to have a purpose. And oftentimes, the degree, the career that we've had is honestly just a stepping stone and has actually helped us already to develop ourselves and build ourselves up into the next thing. Because a lot of the skills that we have as clinicians are transferable into other areas of our life and business. It's just a matter of understanding how they are transferable. So, how we're going to use our communication and education skills with patients, how we're going to do that inside of our online business to promote something else. And so, we've got to accept that the money, the time investment, all of that wasn't the end all be all, but it was just a moment for us to develop parts of ourselves to lead us to where we're about to go, to lead us to where we are, but also where we're about to go. And so once you can accept that there is a deeper purpose here for you and accept the desire that's on your heart and accept that it's changed from what it used to be. Maybe that was your purpose or you thought it was your purpose. Or maybe you knew it wasn't your purpose, took action on it anyways and followed through to get the degree so you can have a safe job and all the things, benefits, all of that, secure the bag, secure getting paid, but you took action on it anyways. It's like you're starting to now accept that when you thought it wasn't it in the beginning, you're like, dang, it really wasn't it. So you've got to accept that maybe you didn't trust your intuitive guidance beforehand or that nudge that was in your ear that God was giving you. So now you've got to accept that you're being met with taking the next step into that deeper purpose. And God put us all here to serve each other. When we really take a look at everything, we start to understand that everyone serves everyone. Somebody made this mic and it serves me to make this video. Somebody put this notebook together. Guess what? That business serves me. It's where I take my notes. Somebody made this laptop that serves all of us to go live, create content to serve our people. Everything serves us. So all we're doing when we take a step in our purpose is we're serving the next person that's supposed to be served by us. Whatever that desire is, whatever it is, the way that you serve. And then the third thing is developing yourself further for that purpose. And the reason why I say further is because the truth is the life experience that you've had, the career path that you've had, the journey that you've had already has developed you in some capacity to go bigger, to dig deeper. And so we've got to be able to come to the understanding that there's going to be more parts of us that we have to develop to truly see our purpose come to fruition and bear fruit and serve the people, make the profit. And so developing ourselves means we got to look at our belief system. We got to look at the things that might be triggering to us. Look at the mindset we have around money, the mindset that we have around business and charging for our expertise and solving a problem for other people. And so when you start developing yourself in that way, you start opening yourself up to be able to receive what God really intended for you. And so the emotional components of releasing the shame, accepting that there is a deeper purpose for your life, and developing yourself for that purpose isn't something that you can prepare for ahead of time. It's actually part of the journey that you start to uncover and discover as you go through. And so you start to release shame as you take steps. You start to accept more and more your deeper purpose as you come in contact and communication with the people you're meant to serve. You're going to develop yourself deeper for this purpose as you start to read more books, take a class, get mentored, get coached, take action on the things that you're learning, improving your craft, studying, creating content, allowing yourself to be more visible. All of that is the development. And so once you release the shame and you start to accept, then the developing process just continues to happen. And that is an ongoing process. We are consistently going to be developing ourselves more and more, deeper and deeper for this purpose. Because once you start serving people one way, you're going to want to serve them with your same message in a different way. And that can look like a coaching program. It can look like a book, courses, products, speaking. It can look like all kinds of things, retreats. And so we're going to keep developing ourselves deeper into that purpose. But we've got to start. We've got to start. So if you're somebody right now that is wondering why this feels so challenging, this is why it feels so challenging. Is because you can strategically know how to build the business, but are you able to release the shame that you want to do something else? Are you able to accept that there is a deeper purpose for your life? And are you willing to develop yourself continuously for this purpose? And so if that's where you are, this is why it feels challenging, because the emotions that come up as we are going through that process is actually just as important, if not more important, than learning how to strategically build an online business. So I trust that this video serves you in understanding how to emotionally prepare, because if you're aware of it, then you know it's coming, so you can armor and anchor yourself spiritually and knowledge base, so you can understand what's happening. Because when you can become aware of it and understand what's happening, now you're going to recognize, okay, I know that this was going to happen. I'm building up the endurance to still continue on my journey. I really invite all of you, as you're watching this, to sink really deeply into that purpose. What is it? What are you meant to do? And share in the comments. I would love to hear what you truly believe your purpose is. Claim it and own it. And if this video has served you and you find yourself speaking amongst other clinicians about, gosh, this just isn't for me anymore, this career path, I'm made for something bigger, and you guys are having that conversation, I invite you to share this YouTube video with them so that they can start to anchor in as well. Let's continue to serve the planet. Let's continue to walk in our God-given purpose. And I will see you all in another video. Bye.